Comedic character actors were few and far between in the 70s and 80s, who were pretty well relying on the older generation to put it together. But when this lady came out, immense timing, a very, very natural comedic actress, really shone in 1941 and other movies of the time, including the Beatles tribute movie, I Want to Hold Your Hand. Wendie Jo Sperber left this world way too young because of breast cancer. Now, she's known best for performances in I Want to Hold Your Hand, Bachelor Party, Back to the Future, where she played Marty's sister, as well as the television sitcoms Bosom Buddies and Private Benjamin. Sperber, born in Hollywood to Burton Seymour Sperber and Charlene Marie near Herschel Sperber, had three siblings, Elise, Michelle, and Richard. Now, she began her screen career at age 19. She was cast in a small role of Kocinski in Matthew Robbins' 2018 movie Corvette Summer, well known for being Mark Hamill's first big movie after Star Wars, as well as the very popular Annie Potts. She next appeared in Robert Zemeckis' period comedy I Want to Hold Your Hand as Rose Petrovsky. EW described Rosie as a screaming Beatlemaniac who, among other things, climbed through elevator shafts. Now, physically, she was a very, very short, very stout young woman, and she could do physical comedy like you wouldn't believe. In 1941, some of her scenes when she's chasing Treat Williams has to be seen to be believed. When 1941 was shown at my local high school, DRHS, in the early 1980s, everybody said this lady's going places. She had a big cult following back in the day. Now, she eventually played the title role in the television movie Dinky Hawker, an ABC after-school special which dealt with a teenager's attempts to hide her feelings by eating. Sperber's physical comedy, again, is featured heavily, like I said, especially in Steven Spielberg's 1941. Zemeckis, who also worked on 1941, brought her back to the big screen in 1980 with a role in his comedy Used Cars, but it was on TV that year that Sperber began to receive more serious attention. Now, she was only, I think, 22 or 23, but she was playing characters that seemed a little bit older. Now, she was eventually cast in a role of Amy Cassidy, a character who was a funny, romantic, exuberant in Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari. Following the show's cancellation in 1982, Sperber worked for a year on the series Private Benjamin. She then returned to feature work in the 1984 Tom Hanks theatrical vehicle Bachelor Party, directed by Neil Israel. Israel cast her again in Moving Violations in 1985. That same year, she appeared in a small but key role as Linda McFly in Zemeckis' highly successful Back to the Future, and she reprised her role as Linda in Back to the Future Part 3. Now, following the Back to the Future series, she returned to TV and started Babes, a comedy about three overweight sisters, but the series was canceled after one campaign. In 1994, Sperber was cast in a major supporting part in the CBS TV series Hearts of Fire. In 1998, she guest starred as April, the cleaning lady Grace's muse, on the 12th episode of Will and Grace. Her last work was voicing the character on the animated TV series American Dad, episode titled Roger and Me, that aired in 2006 after her passing. Now, in addition to her work on TV and movies, Sperber also worked hard as the founder of the We Spark Cancer Support Center, an independent organization formed in 2001 to advance and help support individuals and their families fighting various forms of cancer through free emotional support, information, and social events activities. In addition to being the founder, Sperber also served on the board of directors and wrote the quarterly newsletter. According to one of her last known interviews with Sperber by Terry Wellington, the We Spark organization was her key cause and effort in the last year of his life, with her stating, "The whole idea of We Spark's programming was that I didn't want people to walk into a room and have a therapist ask how they feel. I wanted peer support." Now, in 1997, like we just mentioned, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which seemed to go into remission following the treatment. She revealed in April 2002 that the cancer had metastasized throughout her body, and by mid-2004, she had undergone experimental brain radiation therapy. She continued to work in television as a very popular character performer and movies in this period, including episodes of Unhappily Ever After, Home Improvement, Will and Grace, Grounded for Life, and the movies Desperate But Not Serious, 1999, and Sorority Boys in 2002. Unfortunately, she died on November 29, 2005, at the way too young age of 47. And I really miss her, a tremendous, tremendous actress. So she was left to grieve her many family members, friends, and colleagues and of course she had two children, and of course her former husband Richard Velasquez. Now, filmography, 78 was the big year again. I Want to Hold Your Hand, Corvette Summer in Greece, where she played a dancer uncredited. 1941 and Dinky Hawker in 79. Used Cars, The First Time, Bachelor Party, Moving Violations, The First Back to the Future, Steward at School, Delta Fever, The Image, Back to the Future Part 3, Mr. Right, Love Affair, Mr. Payback, an interactive movie, The Return of Hunter, Big Packages, Desperate but Not Serious, Pissed, Sorority Boys, My Dinner with Jimmy, and Take 22, Behind the Scenes of Sequestered. Now, 1980, The Stocker Channing Show, Bosom Buddies 2 seasons, Knots Landing, Private Benjamin, Brothers, Women in Prison, Designing Women, Who's the Boss, Babes, Harry and the Hendersons, Married with Children, Parker Lewis Can't Lose, Dinosaurs, Hearts of Fire, Fortune Hunter, Kirk, You Wish, Murphy Brown, Will and Grace, Unhappily Ever After, Maggie, Home Improvement, Bet, Eight Simple Rules, 4 episodes. She was on Jag as well. Touched by an Angel, Grounded for Life, and of course her key role on American Dad. So the idea about 1941, she would not be anything but playing herself, and she was a firestorm. You look at Laverne and Shirley, like Cindy Williams and Penny Marshall, that type of acting, that was very, very big back in the late 70s, early 80s. And she played kind of that late 1970s, early 80s kind of Jewish ethnic energy, Italian, whatever. But Wendie Jo Sperber, for me, like I said, every time she was in something, you couldn't take her eyes off her. She was natural actress, a very, very strong performer. And again, it's not like you're saying, look at me, look at me. She had immense talent. She could take a scene and make it hers. And it would have been beautiful if she would have been brought on Saturday Night Live or an anthology show. I would watch it every week. The only person I can compare her with at the time for the energy in a different way is Robin Williams. I know that's a stretch here, but Robin Williams had natural energy, and Jim Carrey as well. If she ever, I don't know how often she did stand up. I'd love to see her doing stand up as well. But I really was enriched by her watching her. And I still remember those scenes in 1941. Again, she's trying to chase down Treat Williams. And there's a scene where she's I think, moving towards her, and it's like it's not really a dance move, but it's like a comedic move. It's just amazing. There's scenes in there only Wendie Jo Sperber could do. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a big fan of Wendie Jo, let us know to like, comment, subscribe, or share. All I know, ladies and gentlemen, I do miss her, because back in the day, she was always good for a natural laugh, and that's the best thing a comedic character actress can do. Thanks for listening. Bye.